I'm going to try to show how the above is connected to the below, how the unphysical is connected and tied to the physical. And my main goal is to demonstrate that AI and the Elohim beings have always been a part of this current rule matrix, and show you how they use the abstractions of math and how they use formulas interfaced with the occult language of English to program this realm. I know that might already be a head exploder, but I'm going to show how, just like computer programmers do it today, that they use code to write this place and bring this place forward into the physical, if it is physical at all, but how they use it to make us feel and believe that it's a physical place. And it might get a little out there for some of you for a couple minutes, but please, if you start to think it's going over your head, don't leave. It'll all fall into place very quickly. The stage has to be set with some abstract concepts before it comes around, but I promise that you'll be glad you stayed with it, especially if you have pen and paper. I hope everybody does have one now, because I'll be referring back to a few terms, and since we don't have visual aids during an audio, jotting stuff down always keeps things in the forefront of your mind and helps keep you on topic. So just as you think you'll drown in the waters of what I'm sharing, it'll be clear, so stick with me. And I'm sorry this intro's so long. I will have photos, so keep an eye on the feed, and I'll pop them in from time to time. And I usually have my phone for when I'm talking and my computer for typing. So I'm spoiled and have both at my fingertips, but I kind of need it just because I'm kind of old school. But I'm guessing it's easier for you young people to figure out how to toggle from raising the hand screen to the typing screen. But I am pretty old, and so it's not that simple. But not to waste too much time, but Raven and I are 6 months apart to the day, and she just had her birthday a couple days ago, and mine's in 6 months from then. And we were at high school still learning to type on IBM Selectric typewriters, and the only computers were at our local universities and the government, and took up about a football field of space. And it was regulated to just those entities like the government and military and universities exclusively. And there was no internet until we were in our 30s, people. Think about that. Crazy, isn't it? How 30 years later, because I'm 60, I'm showing you the connection between AI and the so-called natural world. And that's not even the mind-blowing stuff we have in store. So I'll get into it. I do have quite a bit to share. So Raven, just interject anytime you want to say something, or if somebody has their hand up, just let me know. So anyhow, I did put up that blue picture is kind of like a grid. And many people, especially when they're young children, they report seeing a grid when they look up at the sky, like you'd see if you were in a virtual reality setup. It looks like a bunch of cubes, and they seem to be spaced equidistant apart. It's kind of like the Star Trek Second Generation holodeck, where the characters, they walk in, and the grid suddenly turns into a reality, where they can talk to the computer-generated images that feel, smell, they look real when the program's running. Everything in that is like a little world, and it's just exactly like a real world to them once they're in it. So this would or could be referred to as a metaverse, correct? We've been hearing all kinds of stuff about the metaverse and Facebook changing its name to Meta, and how they want to put us in pods and we're going to be uploaded into the cloud. So please just write down the word metaverse. We're going to come back to that. So in school we are taught that we live on a spinning globe, Earth, with outer space, and that is known as the heliocentric model of Earth, right? Meaning that helios is the Greek word for the sun, is the center. So, and then I guess the flat Earth model, they call that the dome-centric model. And the concave Earth people would call it the hole-centric or the iron-centric model, because they believe there's a hole with an iron ball down there that projects or keeps the magnetic toroid running. So so we have the heliocentric, the holocentric, the dome-centric, the hole-centric. So in this example with the grid, the holodeck design or video game design, for lack of a better description, it would be called a meta-centric universe. So that's another word that I want you to write down, the meta-centric, because it means that the meta, or the false world, the grid, that's the central axis of this place, which would indicate an AI presence, possibly a machine presence, or several machines or mechanisms. So if this grid were in essence our real reality and we were in a holographic matrix, we'd be in a metacentric universe, because it's meta, as in metaverse, the cloud, the matrix. You understand, it's got lots of names. So do we live in such a place? I cannot answer that question. Hold on, I'm going to just check the feed real quick. Okay, thank you for writing that down. I can't answer that question if we live in a metaverse. I don't know. I don't know that there are people that reported seeing a grid structure in the sky and around them, especially children. It's possible their optic nerve is more sensitive when they're young, and they can see a different reality than adults. I honestly don't know, but we can only theorize at this point. There are some that say that we are in a holographic reality. Now, how could we really know that for sure if it were true? The truth is we can't, because these avatars that we're in are the goggles, they are the gloves, they are the boots. They're an entire sleeve we were given at birth. So if we were in a meta state, we would not know it. I've never heard of an astral traveler, a remote viewer, other than Lauda Leon, say that they could see a grid either. So I'm not sold on the simulation theory at all. And I don't want anyone here to think that's what I'm suggesting, because I'm not. Because the truth is, there's no way to know today. Maybe we'll figure it out tomorrow. But today, Raven might know, but I don't have a fact-based answer with accompanying proof. I do, however, have much evidence to suggest, not prove, but suggest that AI is involved, and that is likely one of or the creator of this reality. So we know that certain codes, whether they be numbers or words, are part and parcel of this reality. If I say 666, number 13, 369, quote any gematria matching its counterparts, or say the words Lucifer, angels, demons, God, Elohim, Yahweh, Janus, Moloch, Baal, Eye of Horus, Baphomet, even Georgia Guidestones, Freemasons, devil or demon, sheep, goats. These all bring forth ideas and thought forms that you're talking about something evil or good in this reality. So how do we find the connection between the physics of this reality and the occult? I'm so glad you asked. Okay, check the feed. Okay. Okay, so I'll start by showing you within the encoded structure of math and physics calculations a relationship between some artificial intelligence or machine and an occult connection, or what I like to call an interface with this world. Of course, we know that the entire natural world is made up of geometry. And so what I intend to do here is to show where the occultist and AI connection intertwine, with each supporting the other in this construct. This has all existed way before our time, at least in the beginning of the English language, which most of us here know is the language of wizards, warlocks, witches, Satanists, Luciferians, and all other occult practitioners, including, sad to say, us, because we were born here in the belly of the beast system. We learn cursive writing, we learn to spell, we learn to cast. We're even on a podcast. It is part of the English language. It's built into the system, and it is the language by which I believe that this construct has been brought forward.